been normal. But people think this is normal, and it's not. It's a monstrous aberration.
Okay.
And of course, you see what's going to be happening is in 2020 or 2030, people will be going back to normality. And normality for people on this planet, of course, is hunter-gatherer societies scraping a living from the land if they can, eating whatever they can find. Hopefully not one another, but who knows. It's very, very... This is all very interesting psychological stuff as to what people think is normal and what their expectations are. And so at the conference here, there was one young lady who said that she hoped that she would have as many options as I do, and that she would be able to go to the cinema 20 or 30 years from now. And I'm very sorry to say that she's totally deluded if she thinks that such options are going to be available to her, because they are all totally dependent on cheap oil, and there will not be any cheap oil possibly as early as 2008. I can't say exactly when this is going to come, but I'd be very, very surprised if the global economy is hanging together beyond 2010 or 11. I think that's the end of the road. Which is very interesting, since this corresponds with the renewal of the Mayan calendar. Not that I'm a believer in Mayan philosophy as such, but it's just an interesting coincidence that 2011, 2012 corresponds to this great turning and renewal of society. So that's probably how long we've got in terms of industrial society. Another 2 or 3 years. We'll just see whether the meltdown of the American economy takes down the rest of the world with it. The insanity will continue in the meantime. I mean, I heard just this morning that the Chinese have now fallen in love with 4 wheels and are abandoning two wheels, and 5 million extra cars every year on the roads. This is going to add some pressure to the system, both the energy supply system and, of course, the atmospheric system. And as long as China carries on building one coal-powered generation system, power station every month, then we're pretty well had it. We're pretty well doomed. There's only one atmosphere. There's only one ocean system. We can't say, New Zealand, okay, we'll just put this bubble over us and let the world do what it wants to do. We're incorporated into it. And, yeah, whatever pollution there is in Shanghai or Guangzhou, it's going to come down here and hit us. And of course the real nasty one is the depleted uranium, which has been liberally scattered around Iraq and 1 or 2 other places with this so-called war on terror. We go in there and blow up these people with probably one of the nastiest substances on the earth other than dioxin. Hardened artillery shells fired by the ton in the Middle East and in Kosovo, and I believe also some test runs in Korea. And so we've got depleted uranium, which is uranium-238, which is an alpha emitter in a very, very fine dust form. Who knows whether this is going to get picked up and scattered around the whole planet? I mean, I pray this is not so. I mean, this is one of the things that I try not to think too much about and say, well, hopefully that's going to stay in the Middle East and we're not going to get depleted uranium dust landing in New Zealand, because that really is the end. But ocean chemistry. We're going to put so much carbon dioxide into the ocean that we turn them sufficiently acid that nothing can live. And we're already 3/4 of the way there. It's not going to take too much more. Another few years of adding carbon dioxide to the oceans and we will have completely destroyed the ocean ecosystems, and that means no fish. So that's where we're heading, guys. And of course the big one for land masses is the Amazon jungle, because we're getting pretty close to converting the Amazon into savanna and then desert, and once that's gone, who knows. Huge release extra carbon dioxide. We've got the methane hydrates, which are deposited along the ocean shelf just off a lot of land masses, and the higher the temperature, the lower the pressure, this methane hydrate can come off. We're melting down the permafrost, billions of tons of methane and carbon dioxide coming off, adding to the global warming problem. So we've gone past the point of no return on climate change. We've triggered positive feedback mechanisms. We're at a runaway stage now. And I think, as Matt Simmons said when we were talking about the oil supply, what do? Well, pray is the only thing we can do, because it's got past the point of solutions. And in the meantime, of course, we've got all the bullshit about carbon trading and carbon capping and all the scams that governments will try to work to obscure the debate and just obfuscate the debate and just pretend that we can keep going with business as usual. Interesting times indeed. My last words would be, I did my best to give you a future in which the planet had not been destroyed, that there was still a wide variety of species alive. But I think I pray that I won't, but all the evidence points to myself and others like me failing to give you a future, because the economic system will not allow us to give you a future.